Ned Grabavoy and forward Jonathan Rodríguez. We'll get started with questions for Ned first, and then we'll move to Jonathan. Ned, if you want to start us off.
Thanks, Pluma. And thanks for everyone for being here. Obviously, this is a special day, a big day for the club, where we finally get to introduce our next big-time player in Jonathan Rodríguez. So really, really excited to be here, and thanks for everyone that's here.
All right, we'll take questions for Ned. Please let me know. Adam?
Obviously, this is a signing that has been in the works for a while. What separates Jonathan from your typical Major League Soccer striker?
Well, I think, you look at, just how established he is as a player. This is a player that's been scoring goals, has played for some of the best teams within the entire region. He's done that in multiple competitions. We've seen that throughout his career. If there's one thing he knows how to do, it's obviously to score goals. I think looking at Jonathan and his skill set and why it made a lot of sense to us, one was without question the experience, and the level that he's played at. That was important for our group right now. If you look at some of the young players that we've added over the years, we think that he complements some of those players extremely well in the front part of the group. The other thing I would say is that I think we've got quite a bit of flexibility now, and hopefully Phil feels the same with how we want to shape up in the front part of the group. And we all know with the grueling season of MLS, the congestion, multiple competitions, you need options, you need quality without question. I know the player to my left certainly brings that. But this will give us the ability to look at a number of different things in the attack.
John, go ahead. Can you pass the mic? Thank you.
From the outside, this was apparently a transaction that took long. Did it actually took long? And why?
But I think even if it was a week long, it would have felt long, right? I think, outside of this room, what was a timeline, a decision day? I wouldn't necessarily agree with that narrative. I think the conversations that we've had, and since Phil's coming on board as well, how important it was to get this next designated player signing right. We've made some very, very key additions this offseason. This is without question certainly one of the biggest and one of the most important. Our conversations here have always been to be patient, make sure that we get it right. And I would also say when you're navigating transfer markets, you have to be incredibly nimble as well, because things can change quickly. You have to have a very good pulse on the market, the different opportunities that come up. I would say there's a reason we waited, and I would say it's because the player that's sitting up here with us right now.
Hi, Ned. Obviously, bringing Jonathan here is a huge signing, but there are still other holes on the roster. Can we expect any more moves before this primary transfer window closes?
Yeah, I would disagree with that in some ways. I would tell you the next objective, I think, for us as a group is how do we continue to add maybe players that provide a bit more depth in a few positions on the roster? How do we have players that are a little bit younger, maybe not quite ready to help us right away? Well, we feel like we've got good players in the pipeline. Just because we choose maybe not to sign some of those players, we've got a few academy players coming through right now. They'll get a good amount of games with the second team this year without players blocking them. So it's also about providing them the right pathway in their development as well. So I think for the time being, we'll continue to assess the roster. Injuries happen, things happen. It continues to change and evolve. We'll stay patient with it, but we'll continue to assess.
Yeah.
Hi, Guillermo Mota with Univision Portland. There's a lot of Liga MX fans here in Portland, the greater Portland area. What does this signing tell to the fans that have been wanting a huge signing from, especially the Mexican side?
Yeah, I think it's exciting for all Portland Timbers fans, but without question, and a lot of that's because the success that Jonathan's had at multiple stops, in the Mexican League. Club America right now is probably, one of the best, if not the best, in the entire region. You'd expect to see them, compete all the way through the CONCACAF Champions Cup that they're in right now. I think the ability for us to bring a player of this level at this time for our group is huge. And like I said, we were looking for something very, very specific. You don't always find that. I feel good about the objective and the accomplishment.
Back to John.
Thanks, you. You were talking before about flexibility
and probably Phil is the one who has the last word on this. But when you're doing the analysis, the scouting of the player, the kind of player that you wanted, were you guys thinking on the possibility of having a player like Jonathan alongside Felipe, or is just a competition between them to grow the state of the team up front?
Well, a competition for all the players, right? Start there. But I think for us, we see Jonathan as a striker and we see him as a forward without question. I think from there, the ability to play with other players, the ability to play in a pairing, you have to keep in mind that you may start a game a certain way, but then depending on the situation, you may be chasing a game. A situation in which we need to find a goal in the last 20 minutes, potentially having Jonathan and Felipe up top together for me and for Phil, I think we probably feel pretty good about that as well. And Felipe is another player that has a ton of quality. He showed that last year with his return from injury, and he's also a player that we believe in. So like I said, I think we've got a group of attacking players, and as the season plays out, we'll probably see some different tweaks, with how we line things up. But we want to get Jonathan in and around goal. That's where his quality separates him from a lot of players in this league.
Any last questions for Ned? The room? Let's do in the room and then see at the end. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll get started with Jonathan now. We'll do English first and then Spanish, and then just a reminder to do one question per person, and then we'll go back if you have a follow-up. Okay, here you go.
So Jonathan, a lot of the supporters are asking, what would you like to be referred to as?
Muchos de los fanáticos están preguntando qué nombre prefieres que te llamen.
Jonathan, bueno, acá me están apodando mucho con John. No tengo ningún problema con ninguno de esos dos.
John or Jonathan, I've seen they're calling me John here, or Jonathan, both work. I have no problem with either of those.
Jonathan, nice to meet you. Adam. A lot of successful Uruguayans in the league right now. Obviously, Luis Suarez in Miami. You have Cáceres, who you play with the national team down in LA, several others throughout the league. Did the success other Uruguayans have in this league influence your decision to join the league?
Jonathan, hay mucho éxito con jugadores uruguayos como Suárez y Cáceres, entre otros. ¿Tú crees que eso te influenció a venirte a jugar a esta liga?
Obviamente sí, los conozco a ellos de otras ligas y obvio que me siento muy contento de que poder estar junto y enfrentarlo a ellos es para mí algo muy lindo, extra que me motiva. Y sí, obvio, lo siento como que es una oportunidad muy linda estar acá y disfrutar mucho este periodo.
Yeah, I think obviously I know them from other leagues as well, and I feel very happy to be together here with them and also even play them. I think that'll be fun, and I feel like it's going to be a really nice opportunity for me to be here. Now, do you have any other in English?
Well, Portland specifically, what attracted you about the opportunity of joining this club at this current moment?
¿Qué fue lo que te atrajo de jugar en Portland en este momento?
Bueno, la oportunidad se me abrió las puertas, agradecido con Ned por darme la posibilidad de estar en la MLS, una que tenía las ganas y la espina siempre de poder estar aquí, que estoy en México siempre lo miré con buenos ojos de poder llegar a esta liga y bueno, me motivó mucho, hemos jugado de rivales muchos partidos y sé lo que es y la verdad que estoy muy, muy feliz, muy contento y poder aportar al equipo con lo que me toque.
Yeah, I think it was an opportunity that I wanted. I'm very grateful, first of all, to Ned for giving me the opportunity and opening the doors for me to come and play in the MLS. And just being in Mexico, having played there for a while, I always saw it as something that I wanted to do. And we've played against many Liga MX teams as rivals, or MLS teams as rivals. So I'm just very happy now to be on this side and do my best here.
Hey, Jonathan, how excited are you to put on the kit for the first time and just walk out of the tunnel in front of everyone?
¿Qué tan emocionado estás de ponerte la playera de los Timbers y también de salir en el túnel y ver a los fans en el estadio?
Bien, motivado, feliz, como te dije, no veo la hora de poder estar este fin de semana jugando con todos ellos. Muy contento, muy emocionado. con los compañeros que cuando llegué me recibieron muy bien. Eso, quiera o no, te ayuda a sentirte más cómodo, más suelto para adaptarte a todo. Y nada, esperando con ansia el momento y poder disfrutar y darle al equipo lo que pretendo yo y lo que merece el club por darme la oportunidad de estar acá.
Yeah, I feel very motivated and happy, and I'm anxious to come and play with the team at the stadium. I'm excited to be with my teammates that they were very welcoming from the first day, and that helps me with adapting here. So I'm just excited to give the fans and the club what it deserves from my end. We're going to go ahead and do a Spanish now. We'll start with Josué.
Grande radio. Jonathan, bienvenido antes que nada. Toda la comunidad latina y hispana está muy contento, muy emocionada de tenerte con los Portland Timbers. ¿Cómo te encuentras físicamente? El cambio, ¿no?, de ciudad, de clima, de comida, muchísimo. ¿Cómo te sientes físicamente? Y podremos verte disponible rápido a las órdenes de Field Neville en el campo.
Bueno, me siento muy bien, es decir, yo no paré un segundo desde que estaba en México, es decir, me perdí un par de juegos, pero fue por decisión del técnico nomás de dejarme apartado. Digo, obviamente yo estaba entrenando, tuve participación con el filial del equipo, es decir, hice pretemporada, estoy muy contento, feliz, como te nombré, no veo la hora de poder llegar el fin de semana y que me autoricen y que esté el tema de la visa para poder jugar y esperando ese momento.
Jonathan, Guillermo Mota, Univisión Portland. Tu paso por México fue espectacular. Varios goles, más de 100 goles. Luego tu salida del América. Vienes de ganar el torneo de apertura. El equipo es un gran equipo al momento. ¿Cuál fue la motivación por salir de un equipo que probablemente puede ganar más campeonatos en los próximos años? Gracias.
Bueno, como te había dicho, tenía la expectativa de que quería estar en un equipo en la MLS, es decir, me sentía como que había cumplido un ciclo en América, no estaba teniendo tanta participación de la que yo pretendía. Bueno, gracias a Dios se me abrió las puertas con los Portlands y bueno, uno está agradecido porque sé que vengo a aportar lo mío, sí tengo mucho por dar y también por aprender, es decir que, como te dije, no... Estoy muy contento y digo, espero hacerlo mejor que en lo que estaba antes en el equipo y bueno, espero aportar.
Nathan, Enrique, estás con un equipo que podría haber sido bicampeón en esa temporada con esa América, ya fuiste campeón con Cruz Azul también. ¿Eso te motiva el cambio aquí a la MLS para poder ser campeón con los Timbers y por primera vez tú tener un título de MLS?
Sí, obviamente, para eso vine en conjunto conmigo y el equipo. Aspiramos a eso, la clasificación, a los playoffs y poder conseguir trofeo, que es a lo que estamos, sí, obviamente, es una motivación muy grande para mí.
Vamos a hacer una pregunta más, John.
Para nadie es un secreto el valor o la opinión que hay en México, aficionados y prensa, sobre la MLS. Pero, ¿cuál es la opinión de los jugadores y de jugadores que toman la iniciativa de venir o que deciden quedarse, pero que tienen oportunidades de venir?
Yo creo que ha crecido mucho la MLS en los últimos años a lo que venía haciendo en la anterior. Se ha puntualizado más, cada vez los juegos, bueno, si vas en nombre, muchas calidades de jugadores han venido acá, que está haciendo una liga muy competitiva. Yo lo tomé como un reto muy importante porque creo que es un salto más a lo que venía haciendo y como te digo es tratar de aportar, seguir creciendo y bueno, sé que la liga va a ser muy competitiva, todos los equipos son parejos, cualquiera le dan a cualquiera y bueno, es malo que estoy hablando.
Oscar Ramos con la grande bienvenida nuevamente. Sí. Aquí a Portland, creo que te va a encantar la ciudad, de eso no tenemos duda. Y has hablado mucho acerca de que decidiste venir a los Timbers por más minutos, que es un nuevo reto para ti, pero está en puerta también Copa América. ¿Te sientes con más oportunidad de ser visto para el profe Bielsa ahora que estarás en Timbers como un jugador franquicia a estar en el América? Ya dijiste que pues tenías menos minutos, pero eso también me imagino que es una motivación extra, ¿no? Donde el profe Bielsa pueda considerarte más cuando tienes más minutos.
Sí, obviamente, sí. Prácticamente lo que pretendo acá es primero adaptarme al club, dar lo mejor al equipo, y si hoy mañana llega la oportunidad de estar en la selección, uno que más no quisiera estar en la selección de su país, uno que ya estuvo tiempo, y para mí sería muy lindo estar en la Copa América. Sabemos que es difícil, he perdido mucho ruedo en el tema de la selección, pero uno nunca pierde la esperanza y hará todo lo posible para estar.
We're going to take one question online.
Sam, go ahead.
Hello, Jonathan. Welcome to Portland. For fans who maybe haven't had a chance to watch you play before, how would you best describe your style of play? What can fans expect from you when you take the field for the first time? Thanks.
Bienvenido, Jonathan. Primero que nada, para los fanáticos que quizás no te han visto tanto en la cancha, ¿cómo te describirías como jugador y qué es lo que quieres intentar darle a los fanáticos en la cancha?
Bueno, soy una que me gusta atacar los espacios, la velocidad, encarar el 1 contra 1, bueno, los goles, a tratar de aportarle muchos goles y no, eso.
Yeah, I think I like speed a lot. I like to attack in different spaces and pockets, and obviously just scoring goals more than anything, and one-on-ones I think I'm very good at. Okay, we'll wrap it there. Vamos a terminar ahí.